What is up? This is our last part of Sopranos Road to Respect. So we have the limited edition here. So there's a second disc. It's making the game. I
Take a look inside.
don't know how long this will be.
I hope we can actually put this up.
Yeah, I hope we can show it, obviously.
We were meeting with somebody from THQ who said that they were looking for a developer to make a game based on the Sopranos property. Personally, I've been a huge fan of the show.
Yo, did they have the same TV that we had?
And when
Oh my
I
God.
could have sworn it was a
my
Sony
job offer, I
Transport.
said, okay, we would definitely want to do it.
Our story takes place between seasons 5 and 6, and the script is just over 600 pages.
Obviously,
My
you
God.
have to be careful about who lives and who dies.
You gonna lie to me now?
There is literally hundreds of lines in a game like this that all has to get poured over.
Joey, how much more do I have to listen to?
Sorry, Sil. The world that David Chase has set up in Sopranos has created a really complex world for us to play in as a game player.
Making sure we hit the tone of the show, making sure we get the voices correct, and making sure we don't have the characters from the show doing things.
Dude,
that
watching
we
legitimate
do. It's a bit of
DVDs
a
on this
challenge
TV
in
would
terms of
probably look
creating
awesome.
One of the best.
I was
games
gonna
I've
say, this
created
looks
with,
great.
This looks
A
awesome.
video game where you're essentially doing a lot of fighting.
You take care of that thing?
He said a game where you're doing a lot of fighting.
All the main cast members are involved. James Gandolfini,
No, the hardest part of being boss is this, killing people.
Silvio, Polly, Christopher.
Tony's gonna love hearing about this.
To have the real Sopranos experience, you have to have the real actors.
Video game players want the real thing. And
Freaking
we
AJ.
had to have involvement from the cast.
Being able to get the original cast really brings us authenticity, and it feels like a Sopranos experience because of that.
I was thrilled that they asked me to be in it.
Is he still breathing? Then keep it up.
That's pretty wild. I mean, I always wanted to get a character on The Simpsons, and always wind up in a crossword. Like, you know, 4 letters, Game Master, Vito.
God punishes me for being pretty.
Tony Sirico coming to life as a video game. That's very exciting to me.
Don't just stand there. This ain't happy hour. Take off.
The freaking fingers.
That almost
You
looked
know,
like
see
beta
the
footage.
virtual Tony Sirico, his hands together and he's pointing the fingers, and I think it's hilarious.
There's nobody like Tony Sirico, and to see him represented in a game is, to me, priceless.
You better have one of these things here, because they ain't messing my head.
Well, this game's going down in history.
I can keep beating you up all night.
It does look like beta
Dealing with
footage.
Paulie and Vito and Christopher and Silvio and Tony. They're gonna feel like they're part of the crew.
You'll see a lot of Paulie using his fingers.
If you pull that shit again,
This way, this way, this way.
up yours.
A lot of Paulie choking, beating up, a lot of blood.
Oh, God!
Paulie's very funny. He's very funny.
Look, he's a fucking comedian. I'm about to punch you in the mouth.
We want you to be able to walk through the Bing and go in and hear Tony and Paulie talking, and then they look up and see you and tell you to get the hell out, and then you do something and come back and hey, they're still talking.
The amount of spoken lines, it is between 10 and 12,000 lines, which is unprecedented. I mean, for voice actors, we have, aside from the crew, we have dozens of other actors that did hundreds of parts.
We've gone out of our way to really create moments where you're both interacting with these guys and just watching them, fly on the wall.
Calm down, AJ. Just tell me, you all right?
I was happy with the dialogue and the writing because they didn't really shy away from it. It's
Yeah,
it's real,
seriously.
It's raw.
AJ got carjacked. Motherfucker! Sons of bitches trying to run him down with his own car with my car. Who? What the fuck do you think? Twins. Italian looking. Who shed his twins?
Just being able to, play the mob boss's son is also fun, and it's fun to get into trouble, and he can kind of get you out of it.
You just say it's fun.
I'm trying to push back to start with Angie Porn Studio, the place Sal runs. It's staying in our community.
It was fun.
He's just
doing the
so
voice,
good.
The one-liners, they went quick. I added a few that they liked.
Whatever, you fucking move. Hey, you're a fucking badass.
There's nothing funny about blowing a guy. Go ahead. I just put a request in to make me slimmer.
Cheeseburger and a vanilla shake. If it's chocolate, you're fucking taking it back.
I remember
Well,
that.
this is a big challenge, actually, to do. You're not acting with another character. You have to really take everything from the inside and just kind of
Who
be
drinks just a
spontaneous
vanilla
and
shake?
get a feel for it and go with it.
What's your bra size, pretty boy?
It's always such an
I
honor to
guess.
work with these people.
Maybe I should call my dad.
Even though it's doing different stuff than people see me do on the show, I mean, you could totally, you know, it's still AJ and he's still the same rotten kid.
Oh, this is bullshit. Fuck!
But everybody's just playing the normal role, and my role is just a consigliere to the family. You guys need to start trusting me. And the last thing I played was, you know, Pac-Man or whatever.
Here's your chance. Deal with this prick.
I think truly working in the world of Sopranos, we wanted to create a new character so that we could be respectful to the way that the show has dealt with all the main cast and really gives the player a chance to experience the world and come into it fresh.
We wanted to give the player an opportunity to kind of create their own experience and personality.
Reminder: the game started with you outside the bada bing, just beating the crap out of someone.
Cast members
You literally kill someone when you like bash their head against a urinal or something.
Yep.
A low-level person in the Sopranos organization, and you're trying to become a made man.
It's his evolution of a character. It's how this small person makes it big. It's no one who eventually becomes made through his experiences with the Sopranos crew.
I'm playing Joey LaRocca. I'm an enforcer, basically doing whatever they tell me to do. And I have to earn the respect of all the other characters because I have so much to prove.
He looks kind of like his character.
Yeah, it looks like they kind of based it on.
Yeah.
It was a rat, that's what I know.
We thought about a lot of kinds of people and settled on Big Pussy having an illegitimate son by an unknown Kumar mistress because everybody loves Big Pussy, and we wanted someone who would sort of have a connection to the crew and yet not be the same as a lot of the people who
Get
call
this
them
footage
Sopranos
out of
and
here.
don't want you
I
to
know.
see it. Some of the persons coming for season.
You can't actually show the show.
But someone new.
Joey is the character that you guys control. He's got to do good, otherwise he gets whacked and he ends up like me.
Your old man was a rat, like it or not.
Sorry to tell you, kid. Chris ain't wrong.
He's trying to overcome the fact that his father left with a bad name.
663.
It's amazing how many times your family can disappoint.
We thought it'd be really neat if he had an illegitimate son somewhere. You know, he's such a family guy, and it would be such a conflicted start for this character in the game to be, you know, the son of a rat.
You got a big heart, Tom. Putting Big Pussy's bastard kid on the payroll.
Come on, Chris. Can we bury the hatchet? I'll say it again. I'm not my father.
It seemed like there was
He probably had to do so many because of the three choices every time.
Yeah. Lets us use the ghost of Big Pussy or an image of Big Pussy as a character.
And the original character, I think they got a great voice actor for it.
You, Joey. There's more than one way to shame your family.
Well, fans are gonna love seeing Pussy back in action.
The ghost of Pussy passed.
He doesn't really do that much, does
you
he?
know, like me making.
No,
a
get it
comeback.
out of here! Get it out of here!
All the Big Pussy. I mean, there were a couple of cast members that even come up and said, "You're in the game." I said, "Yes, I am."
Never wear a dead man's watch, especially if you whack the guy.
Holy
What's
crap!
good
he has
about
some
what happened with
intense
this game is that
prescription
I was
glasses.
able
Did you see how it was
to,
reflecting the light?
have some closure with my family, which I really wasn't able to do in the series.
I gotta ask you, Tone, about my father. Is he really dead like, you know, some people think?
Well, I guess they kind of liked what I did from auditioning for the show. And I guess David Chase remembered me, so when this came about, he suggested me. So it was a nice surprise.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Fucking street punks. What do you care?
He actually is not just voice acting on a different character. He plays himself. The person in the game looks like Christian.
Okay.
I was born to kick ass.
Play a character. Joey is kind of similar to what Christopher was when he was young.
He's a pain in the ass. He needs a kick every now and then, and Paulie's the perfect guy to do that. Paulie's trying to school him on being sharp, but every now and then the kid retards out a little bit. But Paulie pulls him back in.
I work for Paulie. You got that? Paulie.
You're working your way up through the ranks, and as you're doing that, you have to interact with all the key members of the Sopranos crew.
You must be fucking kidding me.
They give you missions.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
But if you don't, dire consequences.
We have a respect meter in there. When his respect meter drops to the bottom, then he gets whacked.
Did everything great.
That happened to us.
Not up to the point where you got yourself killed.
Fraught with nothing but danger from within, from without.
Listen, kid, you don't talk like that to a captain, no matter how immature he is.
From what I understand, he winds up in the end of the game getting made. If not, he don't.
There's things in here that aren't in the show. New things, new characters.
Some original characters we created actually in conjunction with David Chase, who were voiced by new actors.
Hi, you've reached Trishelle. Leave your name and number, and I hope we speak soon.
I'm Monica Kina, and I'm playing Trishelle. Trishelle is a really
Literally the opposite.
You
I am a white girl.
I'm definitely this tough, badass girl that doesn't take any crap from anybody, but at the same time, I sort of play the hot, sexy love interest of Joey.
In some ways, she's Joey's conscious, and she helps kind of drive the player and kind of point them in the right direction as they're going through their experience.
You ever want to, get reacquainted, call me, okay?
Digits.
I was wondering why you'd be doing Tony's dirty work. Now I know. You're a fucking moron.
Robert Costanza plays Vachetta, who he is, in a way, the other Tony.
What am I doing here? And why do I exist? The existential question.
Your Butana friend, how's she looking these days? Better than your nephew did. When I dumped him off the pig.
We ain't true, Joey. Not even close. Angelo Buscetta is very violent, very dangerous, not easily intimidated by Tony. Don't fuck me, Tony. I need this.
Oh, Angie, watch the language. This is a religious event.
He does play this older, more of an old school mob boss from Philly who has been in prison and kind of comes back.
I did some Italian for them. I don't really speak, as I told people, I'm bilinguini. Disgraziata fango a mamma. Are you guys hearing all this?
It's like another episode of the show, really. It gels right into it. It's a solid fit.
So that's cool. It takes place between the second to last and the last season.
Yeah, obviously you can't do anything after the last season.
Well, I was wondering if it was like after, and they were like, actually, the ending was just a psych out.
It's not about good and evil and black and white. It's very gray. The main characters are not necessarily heroes in the traditional sense, and so it was like a challenge. It was kind of cool to see how we can do that, how we can bring that experience to video games.
We're both writing in the voice of The Sopranos and also making sure we hit the marks that a video game requires in terms of keeping the player in the right space and letting the player know what they can and can't be doing in the particular instance of gameplay they're in.
Obviously, we created such a beautiful visual style that the show's come up with that is
It does seem like
reality.
it mostly cares about audio, but I definitely know that I think it cares about video too.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know if we've been hit with any bad copyright thing for this game so far.
You expect the world to feel like what you know from the show. We want to give everybody that backdoor access.
Kind of unfortunate
That's
that
their
this game
world.
didn't
Their
do that
world
well
is very
because
small.
I mean, of the budget,
So the locations are very
80% of the budget had to go to all the original voice actors. They probably asked for like a pretty good sum.
When you see the strippers, we want you to interact with Silvio. You got Tony.
And they really did. They clearly didn't phone it in. I mean, just look at this.
They probably just were left with like not that much money to make a good game. Even though me and Spencer like kind of like this game.
I kind of like it. Good.
You know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean it's a good game. It's just
you're gonna go into the bathroom.
Yeah, very.
It's
Just
a beat 'em up. As if it's the exact bathroom that is in the Bing.
There's definitely a lot of beta footage in this.
Yeah, to put some new areas that would mix well with the show's already very realistic Vesuvios and all those areas, Satriales, and then we would go and shoot whatever in New Jersey. Everything that we're doing is over there because it's so different.
We had a full camera set, taking all the environments, the docks. We actually took pictures of the workers on the set.
They shot other parts of Sopranos in these places. We're using them in a different way. So like if you're seeing part of our game, usually it's from the show. We have a garage, and the garage is actually from the show, from Big Pussy's garage from the first season. So we revisit that, we rebuild it a little bit differently, but at the same point, you're getting a new environment, but very much branded Sopranos.
That is, without a doubt, the dumbest fucking idea I ever heard.
And all the characters are characters. That's what really helps us on the art side. We have to be completely correct in the shoes that the people wear, and the outfits, and the pore count, on their face.
People know these characters. They love these characters. So if you don't nail it dead on, somebody's like, oh, that's not how he
These
is.
graphics will never get better than this, bros.
It's not just a person, it's like they have a character, they have an attitude, they have these looks. Silvio's got that all the time. And we actually got books on like how Italians speak with their hands and stuff like that.
He's a stonado, the first magnet.
The whole cast has been really, really great about working with, giving us feedback on their likeness.
Yeah, I wonder if YouTube will hit copyrights for 1 second clips.
Animations of The Sopranos are lifelike.
It is an interactive Sopranos experience. When you walk into the Bada Bing, you see the characters. And at other times, they will actually go along with you on jobs. So they give you jobs, and then every once in a while, they'll actually come along on the job, so you'll be able to go into a place with Christopher and kind of interact with people with him, fight people with
hate
him.
him because he sucks.
Let's go, Junior. Our work here is done.
The hardest guy in the entire game was
usually
that
goes to the
one
what
guy
we
at
call
the
hubs in
gym.
the game, or the main locations that you'll recognize from the show. The Bada Bing, Satriales, Vesuvius. You'll go there to interact with the crew, get missions from the crew.
Time to lose your cherry, my friend. Who invited you?
This is Satriales, and what we had to do was to create a complete 3D model of the actual set from the show. So we started off with photographs taken from all angles of the location, the signs on the outside and what the bricks are made of on the side. And then we would go to the interior and model every individual smaller object in the set. We then create these photographs and turn them into what we call texture maps, which are an image that's applied to the surface of models inside the game. Then we turn them into geometry that you can fly around through or walk through. And then we shade the geometry so that we have a full lighting of what the actual lighting of the set is. And then we apply the texture maps to create a full rendered image of the set. You'd be surprised how quickly a lot of these sets can really go. I mean, basically we have, in 3 weeks, we have a working model of the set that we can run around in, and everything looks pretty much right.
You really feel like you're in Satriales as you're looking around like, wow, I'm really there.
What's really exciting about it is to feel like you've now entered the show and go to the actual locations, be in the environment, interact with the actual cast.
I don't want to hear from the suits from HBO. I want to hear from the producers and stuff.
Come the fuck on.
The gambling minigame
We didn't play.
is
We didn't
cool
play
for
any
many reasons.
gambling.
Do that.
It's one, it allows you to play poker, which is always fun.
Don't be a bitch, call me.
And it allows you to play poker with the crew, which is always cool.
Shit, forgot. Wallet's a little light.
In the actual game, the gambling means a lot in terms of the money that you earn. You know, this game's all about paying up.
Were those good? I never really played before.
And by gambling, you can get extra money to help pay up.
I got some extra scratch.
To unlock extra things and just kind of advance in the game quicker.
Yeah, but your mother's a whore.
Besides just interacting with the crew, it's your chance to take money away from Tony and Paulie and Christopher.
You call like the forward.
I wouldn't want to beat any of
do
them.
it.
Yeah.
And then you can use that
I'd be
money
like,
to,
no thanks, I don't want to play.
unlockables in the game, concept art, pay for lap
You win
dances.
a hand and then they send you on like the worst job in the world just to get back here.
What's up, yo? It's a completely licensed soundtrack. Every scene scored as the TV show would be scored.
Mature!
The licensed music is used to score feelings and what we're normally playing in certain areas. We have like male vocalists kind of crooning at Vesuvio, and we've got classical music playing in the law office, and we've got kind of nasty electronica playing at the Bada Bing. All kinds of music, and that's another thing that made this project really fun to work on is all the different types.
Not bad, mama's boy, not bad.
All the ambiances, and all the environments are being designed from scratch. All the combat sounds are being designed from scratch. We have a lot of special moves. Realism and sort of a theme that I'm going for, which is like hyper-realism, which is like realism with like something a little bit extra to give it that edge, because some of the violence is really brutal.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Bada bang. In the show The Sopranos, there's always consequences to every action. Sometimes they're unintended. We wanted to have some of that same feeling of the unexpected and the unintended happen in the game, and that was part of capturing.
I'm some guy from HBO.
Yeah, that HBO producer looks like an AI generated like
Like most games that you play have some sort of action element to them.
They don't fight as much on The Sopranos as you do in the game, but we've tried to deal with it by having lots of verbal choices and some actual games where the player chooses what they say, and there's a variety of responses that they'll hear based on their choices.
I'm this cocksucker. Or maybe you like seeing your captain disrespect.
Fuck this guy. He's lucky he ain't fucking dead.
He will be.
In some instances, if you say a smooth line, you'll get a smooth response from a different guy, or if you say something tough to the guy, maybe you intimidate him. And we have a variety of results based on your choices, and sometimes for every 2 choices you make, there'll be 10 you never heard.
And then, of course, we do want to bring that level of drama and characterization to the world too.
You fucking got on.
Action is what video game players want to play.
There's long periods of
I also don't want to hear from the vice presidents of licensing of THQ.
Yep.
We jumped into the show
and did a survey of like all 5 seasons, basically. And we're like, what are the moments where you
The
actually
spoilers!
And we found that they were very interesting because they used the environment.
Oh!
I remember that. Tony's crew is obviously not about fighting fair. They'll grab anything they can to get their points.
Oh!
We wanted to take that part of the show and bring it into the game by creating hundreds of unique weapons. Things like typical bats and wrenches, but then we have some untypical things like we got a lava lamp, we got a megaphone, crutches, IV stands. I think we even got a prosthetic leg in there somewhere.
It's really
gory,
shocking. It's not always pleasant.
Grabbing a guy and punching him, grabbing a guy and taking him to the ground, choking him.
We have a lot of special moves in this game, really brutal moves where people are just in total agony.
Oh yeah, there's arm breaks, there's the nut.
I clearly sucked at the game.
Gets, beat up. Somebody gets the shit kicked out.
Because I know there was more special moves.
But this game is like,
idea of being
unless you're doing
released from your
1v1, there's
social
like,
inhibitions, the way
just get ganged up on
you imagine that
Oh,
mob characters
gosh.
are, and getting to play in a way that you can't play in the real world. And that's the real exciting part about games, is that it gives you a way to live a different life.
Yes, Mr.
Even not
AI.
as a law-abiding citizen.
He just sounds like
but
he's
when you
reading
put
off
down
a
the
script.
controller, you can go back to being that law-abiding citizen again.
Joey, get the fuck over here.
I'm so excited about this game. Just the amount of effort that has gone into it from this entire team. We have a whole slew of really talented, great people, everyone with their specialties doing like what
7
they do best.
studios!
Kind of just the day-to-day of seeing everyone contributing their little piece of it and bringing it together and it becoming sort of this polished whole.
Pains have been taken to make it authentic and real.
Hey, you, shut the fuck up.
This generation loves the games. They love animation, especially realistic animation.
You get to beat somebody down with a pork chop in the back of Satrialis.
I'm with you, pal.
That's a Sopranos moment.
It's something to do when Sopranos isn't on.
We filled in the blanks with HBO's collaboration, and we believe that it's the most authentic experience you can get.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is not a video game that has the Sopranos influence into it. It is a Sopranos video game.
Check it out.
I think it's about time that there's a game.
People are going to be feeling like they're part of the Sopranos.
Heck yeah. That was actually...
Yeah, that was awesome.
Go to www.hbo.com.
Was that the only thing on the DVD?
I think so. I'll let it go.
Still full.
I'll let it go for a sec. Or wait.
It's literally just
Yeah. Next probably takes you back to the. Yep. Okay. So yeah, that was actually more than I thought it would be.
Yeah, usually that stuff is like 10-minute.
Yeah, so that was really cool. So that's the end of Sopranos Road to Respect. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you get to see this video for the 3-second clips on HBO. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, and bye.